Alright, this is Algebra 2, Unit 2, Topic 1, SLT4. This is Lesson B. So we're going to get into complex numbers. We're going to talk about adding and subtracting and multiplying complex numbers. Starting off with a warm-up here, we have simplified the following in the standard form, which is a plus bi. So I to the third power. We've talked about in other videos how I is I, which is the square root of negative 1. I squared is negative 1, I to the third power is negative I, and I to the fourth power is positive 1. And then it repeats, so I to the fifth, I to the sixth, I to the seventh, I to the eighth, and it's kind of like a base 4. It keeps going around and round and round. So I to the third is negative I. If you want to see why the reason is, just look back into the prior video. I to the 15th. So all you got to do, since it's base 4, which means the rotation keeps repeating every 4 times, is divide it by 4 and find out what the remainder is. So 4 goes into 15 4 times because, 4 goes into 15 3 times, which is going to be 12, and 5 minus 3, 2 is 3. So that basically tells you that you're going to go around this rotation 3 times, and the fact that your remainder is 3 means that this is equivalent to I to the third power. So this is also equal to negative I. They both equal the exact same thing. Over down here, so we're taking whatever quantity is on top and we're dividing everything by the 2 on the bottom to put it into standard form. We're going to separate the real, which is this part, and the pure imaginary, which is this part. 12 divided by 2 is 6, and 6i divided by 2 is positive 3i. There you go. So you're just dividing 12 divided by 2 and 6i divided by 2. You have to divide everything on top by whatever's on bottom. Same thing here. So 4 divided by 3 is 4/3. So that way I'm separating my real, that's my real part, and my imaginary part. Well, the square root of 81 is actually 9i. And the reason why is because the square root of a negative is not possible. Remember, square root of I is the square root of negative 1. So anytime you have a square root of a negative, that means that's the same as I. If you take that out, 9 times 9 is 81. But 9 divided by 3 is 3. So it's 3i. So 9i's divided by 3 is 3i's. If you split it into 3 equal groups. There's your pure real. There's your pure imaginary. Now, this lesson comes with, so you can look at prior lesson actually to see what this is all about. This is about the complex number system, and I explain all the differences between all of these numbers. I also do this in the last video, so as you just look at the part A of this same SLT, you'll see me doing these kind of questions as well. I guess I'm just going to leave you to watch the other video to get that. And I want to get to these kind of questions down here, which is what this video is about, which is multiplying, adding, and subtracting complex numbers. As I had done, I actually already did this prior in this video, which is I is the same as I squared is negative 1, I to the third is negative I, and I to the fourth is positive 1, because it takes 2 I squareds to make I to the fourth. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. This is going to be the same rotation. It's the exact same numbers in the exact same order. And it keeps going on forever. Well, if I kept that going, that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So the answer is going to be negative I. It's the same question I did in the warm-up. So just divide 19 divided by 4 and, okay, so 19 divided by 4. It's not the exact same question. So 4 times 4 is 16. Subtract, and once again, you do get a remainder of 3, although it was a different exponent, but it is the same answer. So 5 times 3 is 15. So you're multiplying. If you remember a long time ago in a prior video, we did laws of exponents. We talked about how anytime you're multiplying things with the same base, that's power to a power. So anytime you're multiplying things with the same base, you add the exponents. 5 plus 3 makes 8. So I to the 8th power is 1, which is right there. All right, so now we're adding. So you're going to combine like terms. This is a real term. This is also a real term. This is imaginary. This is also imaginary. Always keep the sign that comes in front of it. So this is 2. 2 plus 5 makes 7. That's the 2 real numbers combined. I'm done with those. And then I'm going to combine the 2 real numbers. This is positive 3i plus negative 3i. Well, anytime you add 2 opposites to each other, they basically cancel each other out. And there's your answer. The answer is 7. Now, same thing for subtraction. You can only combine like terms. So this is real, but remember you're subtracting. So a lot of people, what they do is they will set this up like this vertically, which you can also do if this is what works best for you. So if you're doing it this way, which is not the way I typically do it, then you just subtract this minus this and this minus this. But that also works if I take it back and show you how I would have just worked it through. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. 3i minus negative 3i minus a negative is the same as plus, so 3i plus 3i is 6i. And there's your complex solution. You cannot simplify that because you cannot combine a real and imaginary parts. They are not the same thing. All right, so now we're multiplying. We're going to use the FOIL method. First, outer, inner, last. Things that came first in the parentheses. 2 times 5 is 10. Outers, 2 times negative 3i is negative 6i. Inners, 3i times 5 is 15i. And then last, 3i times negative 3i is negative 9i squared. Now, there's a lot of simplifying that can go on here. We got 2 like terms in the middle. I'll do that first. We got negative 6i's plus 15 more i's. Negative 6 plus 15 is 9. So the middle 2 terms combined to 9i. Can't really do anything with the 10 just now. This is positive 9i, so I'm going to put a plus. It's positive. Always keep the sign in front of it. But this negative 9i squared. So if you remember, I squared is negative 1. So this is really negative 9 times negative 1. So really the I squared changes whatever its coefficient to its opposite. So negative 9 becomes positive 9. Now you can combine the two real numbers. 10 plus 9 makes 19. 19 plus 9i is your solution. Okay, homework. I plus 6 more i's makes 7 i's. Simple addition. Combine things that are like terms. 3 plus 4 makes 7. 7 plus 6i cannot be combined because one's real, one's imaginary. That's 4i, same thing as up here, 3 plus 1 more. Remember, anytime there's no coefficient, really the coefficient is 1. Negative 7 minus 7, negative 8 minus 7 more makes negative 15i's. Combine the like terms. Okay, so we got negative 1 and negative 4 makes negative 5. Cross those off. Always keep the sign in front of it. Negative 8i's minus 1 more I makes negative 9i's. It's not letting me get rid of course. Number 6, combine the real terms. I just don't like keeping all the answers on the board, so it makes you actually watch the video. So 7 plus 4 makes 11. 11 plus 4 more makes 15. So that's 15 plus I. So I'll just talk you through some of these. Number 7, combine the like terms. So negative 3. All right, so I got a lot more going on here, so I cannot just combine like terms. This negative is actually being distributed by everything on the inside of the parentheses, so I'm going to do that first. So that's negative 3 plus 6i. Didn't do anything with that. Opposite of negative 5 is positive 5. Opposite of negative 3i is positive 3i. So once I've distributed that, then I can just combine like terms. Negative 3 plus 5 is 2, so it's going to be 2. 2 goes right here. 6i plus 3i makes 9i. 9. So it looks like it's going to be 2 plus i. 2 plus i, if I did that right in my head. Because 6 plus 3 makes 9, and 9 minus 8 makes 1. Just 1 i. Number 8, combine like terms. 3 plus 8 is 11. Minus 7 is 4. So put a 4 right here. And then 3 minus 2 is 1. So it looks like it's 4 plus i. 4 plus i. Okay, multiplication. Oh, there's a better strategy right there. Multiply 4i times negative 2. So we got distributive properties. So that's negative 8i. And 4i times negative 8i is negative 32i squared. Now, same thing we did on the last page. Remember, I squared is really negative 1. So that negative 1 multiplied by negative 32 makes it positive 32. Now, this is the right answer, but I would normally switch it around and make it standard form, so that would be 32 minus 8i. Remember, once again, third time I said it in this video, please keep the sign that is in front of the term. So it's negative 8i, so make sure the negative stays with the 8i. All right, 5, there's no coefficient here. I times, okay, really there is a coefficient of negative 1, so 5 times negative 1 is negative 5, and I times I is I squared. But then I squared, once again, changes the coefficient to the opposite, so negative 5 becomes positive 5. And the reason why it does that is because, once again, I squared is negative 1. All right, last 2. So 5i times I is 5i squared. And then if we multiply that by negative 2i, 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. I squared times another I is I to the third. And remember, I to the third is really negative I. So negative times a negative is a positive 10i. Last one. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20, and I times I is I squared. And I squared changes this number to the opposite, so the answer is going to be positive 20. All right, thanks again for watching. Please give it a like to help you learn something about adding, subtracting, multiplying complex numbers, pure and real and pure imaginary numbers to make complex numbers. All right, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.